Hi, it's Mr. Smith, and in this video, I'm going to give you a video tour of MyLab Math, which I also will refer to as my Math Lab, which is what we used to call it. So you notice we're on our home page, and I'll go down to MyLab Math. Excuse me. And when you first get in here, you're going to want to run the browser check just to make sure that everything is on your computer that you need to run this program. To view the videos and everything else. So it looks like I may need to, check version on my lockdown browser. I'll worry about that later. That's not going to be important for this class because you won't be taking tests online. So anyway, you don't have any issues here, so I'll close that. Now, navigating is a little bit of a pain with Brightspace and MyLab Math. Notice I got to click back into it. So I ran the browser check. By the way, if you ever have problems with your computer as far as running MyMathLab, sometimes it may help to go back and rerun the browser check. That's one of the things you can do. Other things might be like to restart your computer. Anyway, those are just a couple ideas. You're going to spend most of your time in assignments, but I want to go through some other things first. Notice here's your textbook. Takes just a little bit of time to download. And you can click on the table of contents. By the way, my screen's a little bit small in order to make this video more clear, but when you're in full screen, you can see the pages quite well. So I went under table of contents, and you can go to all the different sections that you could, just as if you had a paper book. So let's say you're going to section 1.4. I'm going to click here so I can see more of the page. And it's actually quite nice. These links here like this, here's an example that you can look at and maybe follow, but if not, you could watch the video where it works out this problem in detail. I think it does this problem, or it might be a similar problem. And then there's the same thing here. So here's one where you can try a problem. Here's the video solution. Anyway, so you can see that it's quite interactive. So for some students, if you miss class, you may want to go back and you can look at a section this way. You can go from page to page by clicking here. You can actually also type it in. And I think here you can print a page. I've found that it's not real print friendly. I think it puts something across it. Anyway, it's not the best, but it's better than nothing, I suppose. Let's go. I'm going to click. Let's see if I click here. Let me see if I go back, if it takes us back to where we were. Yeah, you're just in the book. So I'm going to click out of here and go back into MyLab Math. Again, normally you'll just go into assignment, so you won't have this issue. The grade book in eCampus is not all, or I'm sorry, in MyLab Math. The only thing it's going to really help you with is your grades on specific assignments. For your overall grade, you want to see, after each test, I'll post it in eCampus, and that's what you're going to want to look at. Let's see, video resource library. So this is all the help that's available to you. Let's say we're in chapter 1 and in section 3, you can select all. And these are videos or animations, interactive figures. I don't know how useful that will be. You can always check those out if you want. This is a link to the textbook. This is a link to PowerPoint notes for this section. And then these are all the videos that come with the book. Notice they don't have one video over the section. They've broken it down by the different examples. So those are actually all the things, or a lot of these things are available to you when you're in MyLab. And so I'll show you that when you're doing your homework. But you can always, like, let's say you got to go back and review a chapter or some sections. This is probably the best way to do that. So again, let me try arrowing back and see if it'll take me back to where we started. It doesn't look like it will. So again, we'll have to click on MyLab Math. And accessible resources. So if you're concerned about accessibility, notice we have accessible PowerPoint slides, transcripts, and etc. So that may be something of interest to you. And MyLab Math purchase options. If you want to purchase a paper copy of your book, I think it's in a loose leaf notebook, 3-ring binder type of deal. If I remember right, it's around $80. So I haven't had students that have gotten the book, but if you want it, that's how you can get it, but you do have to pay for it. Excuse me. MyLab Math Mindset. If you know you have a really bad attitude about math, you might want to look at that. Just kind of talks about how, when you're learning, you need to be open to the fact that you're going to make mistakes and it's not the end of the world. It's just part of the world of the learning process, and just how your mindset is when it comes to mathematics. So for some of you, that might be of interest. Integration support, you'd only go there if you run into some problems with MyLab Math this semester and you go to get some support. They may ask you to go there and give them some information. So I think we're ready to go into assignments. All right. And so right now you can see that all the assignments for the first test are open. And let's go ahead. Oh boy, I don't know which one I want to go into here. Let's do this one here. So we'll go into section 1, 4, and 5. Those have been combined. And let's go, let's see. I know what I'm looking for. Hopefully I picked the right problem. Let's go to the next one. So there's ways to navigate. You can use the arrows to go forward. I can go to the next problem here. You can also click here and you click on whatever problem you want to go to. And so there's 3 ways to navigate there. I don't like that problem. Let's go to, there's a good problem. So you should know how to solve equations. We talked about this. I won't actually teach this in class, although probably do a problem or two. So here the solution is, well, it's -17, but we're going to go ahead and put in some other numbers. And then, so put in your answer, check answer. Okay, so let's do that again. You normally get 3 chances, although sometimes you only get 1. It depends on the kind of problem. So notice it does say final check. So here's the correct answer. Here's the answer I gave. Now I'm going to go on to the next question, but notice I could click on similar question and it'll give me another problem for this question. But I'm going to go to the next, and notice that problem we just did was marked wrong. And so now I want to go back to that problem. You could do that at any time, excuse me, as long as the assignment's not overdue. And I'm going to click on similar question. And let's see, 3 minus -7, or no, 3 minus, yeah, -7. No, how about -1. Let's check our answer. Notice it says well done. Go to the next question. Notice now we have a green check mark. So the point is, if you're willing to put in the time, you can always go back and fix the ones that you miss, and you could get 100% on any homework. So I do have some students, many students actually, that get in the high 90s, or a few that will maybe get 100%. But anyway, that's how it works. Let's go to the next problem. And I don't know how to do this, so I'll click on Help Me Solve This. And so it'll take me step by step through this problem and show me how to solve it and give me a different problem. Now, some students, the thing about these problems is they're generated randomly, and sometimes you get some doozies. And so maybe you want to miss it and get another problem, and hopefully it'll give you a nicer problem. Or maybe you like this problem, so in that case you might want to view an example. So you can view an example, and when you're done watching that, you can go back and do this problem. And then under Get More Help, notice this takes you to the textbook. It'll take you to section 1.4. Let's see. Let's see where it does take us. Because I have two sections here. Probably going to take us to 1.4. And actually it's going to 1.5, but you can always arrow back and go to 1.4. Let me click out of there. And the other thing is, let's say on the weekend you're really frustrated trying to do some problem. You could always send me an email, and if I have time that weekend, if I'm not some foreign or some other state or something, and I have a chance, I'll get back to you. Normally I'm pretty good about getting back to students as soon as I can. But the nice thing is it sends me, like if it's a word problem, it sends me the word problem, and then you can ask your specific question. A lot of times I'll send back a written solution if it's something relatively simple. Sometimes I'll send back a video where I do the problem in detail. If you have several questions, normally I'll contact you and see about maybe meeting online to try to go over a few problems. But anyway, so that's there. The other thing, a lot of times there's videos here. There's nothing like that here this time. Depends on the problem. All right. I think the only other thing I have to show you here is if you click on here, again, if you have concerns about accessibility, you can click on here to see what's there. You can print your homework. Just be careful, if you print out your homework and do all the problems and then put it back in or go back to the homework, you just want to make sure it's not changing the problems. So if that's an issue, let me know if you try that and you end up it doesn't work out. But I believe you can make that work. Some people like to do things on paper. And you can check with the Help Center if you want. I'm not real familiar with that. I think that's about all I have to say about MyLab Math. So if there's anything I missed, you have any questions, just let me know. Otherwise, that's all I have for you.